This segment's being sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife.
Today I want to introduce you to somebody. This is my daughter Ashlyn. Y'all probably haven't seen her before. She hadn't been with me on many videos, but today we've been out deer hunting. And I'll tell you, it was one of the greatest hunts we've had together in a long time. But, you know, we didn't see any deer, and there wasn't really a whole lot of conversation. When she got settled and got warm, she fell asleep on me. But as a dad, it was great just to be able to spend time together. You know, all throughout Scripture, we can see how God desires to be with us, from Adam and Eve to Moses and the Israelites to the disciples, all the way to the book of Revelation, where he talks about our home in heaven. God shows his desire to be with us. So often we just carry him our grocery list of things that we want him to do. Take care of this, or please help us here. And we just kind of buzz through our time with him when he just wants to be with us. So my challenge for you this week is this: pay attention to the time that you spend with God. Are you just demanding things from him, or do you just desire to be with him? I promise you, he loves those moments. Thanks for being with us today. Hope that you are being blessed, and always remember, keep shooting straight.
All right, everybody, this week's Calling Seven's being sponsored by Taylor's Archery. Y'all can find them at 100 East Lauderdale Street in Tullahoma, Tennessee, or give owner Tracy Taylor a call at 931-563-7706. Let him take care of all of your archery and crossbow needs. Get down there and talk to him about some Christmas gifts, because I guarantee you can find what you need at Taylor's Archery. And be sure to tell him thank you for us. You guys can call in now if you'd like to. It's 615-737-7767. And call in with your own questions or comments. And while we're waiting on some of those, Gary, let's talk a little bit about, we've had a lot of students in here. Richard and I have had several different anglers in here. I always enjoyed it and interviewed them, but you know, we don't get to talk to the coaches a lot. You know, we hear their side of things, but you know, as a coach, we see these guys out there, and we've gotten to know the coaches and as well as a lot of the students. Is it, you know, how tough is it to be an angler like you are, and you're sitting there for 6-8 hours? You know, you can't even tie a knot. I mean, you know, you can't even help to tie a knot. I mean, you can't do anything. So I mean, kind of, what do you just up there mentally coaching them, or biting your own nails because you can't cast, or what, you know?
On them tough days that the boys are struggling, I'm biting my nails. You want to grab that rod so much and just help them, but you can't. Other days, they're on the fish and they're catching so many it's driving you nuts, and you still want to put it right, but you can't do anything but hold a phone in your hand and take pictures, you know, and give advice. But for the most part, it's just a pleasure just watching them catch the fish.
Or the coach, every time we come up to the boat, he's tapping on the motor.
That's Ron Holt. That's who that is. That's Ron. And he, you know, he's loaded there drumming on the motor or whatever, you know, dancing on the back of the boat. You never know what he's going to be doing.
Oh, you don't know. He's a character,
man. He is a character. There's a lot of them that are out there, but you know, that I've always just seen the captains, and you can just tell. I mean, they're having a good time, but at the same time, you know, they're just like, oh my goodness, you know,
anxiety.
I want to grab that rod so bad, or you know, they're watching them tie a knot, and they're like, oh man, you know, I want to tie that knot for him, but you can't do it. You know, you're there to coach, and that's what you're there to do, and they've pretty much got control, you know, at that point, especially in the high school.
Oh yes.
So
in the high school, you can't do much of anything other than stand back and spectate. I mean, that's all we're doing. It's you got front row. I mean, nobody else knows what's going on until you get back. But you're right there front row. You're with them in the excitement, the whole 9 yards. When they're on fish and that excitement,
you feel the same excitement, don't you?
And it shows up when they get up there too.
It does. I've seen it.
Which coach is excited?
We got Raymond on one here. Raymond, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. We appreciate you calling. How can we help you tonight?
Got a couple of different things. If you kill a deer on your own place, what do you have to have with you to get it processed?
What you'll do is you'll get a permit through TWRA, and it's got a parcel number on it, a land parcel number. And whenever you shoot a deer, you use that land parcel number as your, kind of like your license number. And so that's what you would take to the processor, would be that paperwork that shows your land parcel number as the landowner.
Okay. And then I'd like to hear you blow that grunt call. Let's hear what that grunt sounds
Go
like.
ahead,
Hey,
Brandon.
I'll be glad
Give
to.
us a demonstration.
So it's yeah. Thank you for calling. Have a good night. We'll be glad to do that for Raymond.
Yeah.
Now what I've got it on right now, this is mature buck or just a deeper tone buck. That's what I usually keep it on, but it's a lot deeper obviously. So you'll get a deeper tone out of that. Now if you want to keep it with a buck but you want a more young buck sound, I'll usually just not adjust this but just close this and you'll get a lot higher tone but a buck sound.
And then you got the
if
doe.
you want to go to a doe, you'll just kind of go about halfway down this slide. You can do a doe bleed. And then in early archery, or if you've got say your bow hunting's a great time of year for it, but if you see a coyote, okay, and he's out of range or something, you want to call him over to you, you switch to that fawn bleat and just and hey, that coyote, he's coming.
gonna walk in.
So,
He's coming.
but I mean, a lot of deer will respond to a fawn bleat in the early season. Whenever the fawns are young and they've got a lot of young ones running around, the deer will respond to that as well. But again, it's just that's why I like this call, because I've really got 4 calls in my hand at a time. So appreciate you calling in, Raymond. Guys, we're going to move on over to this week's tip of the week. This week's tip of the week is being sponsored by Phoenix Custom Quality Rods. You guys can find them at phoenixrods.com. Check out all their new lineup coming up for 2021. Right here in the state of Tennessee, you can call Mr. Jim Brewer at 931-213-1455. All right, and for our tip this week, Gary, you had a tip for us. So.
Well, with these colder temperatures coming up, and what we advise our younger anglers and stuff is to pack extra clothes. You never know, that frost gets on that boat, you'll slip in a heartbeat and you're in the water. You're in soaking wet clothes, you ain't got something to get dry.
Yeah.
You're looking at hypothermia.
Absolutely. That is great advice right there. Keep extra clothes and keep them dry and somewhere you can get to them. So very good tip. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.